Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Fatrobzpizza. What's up YouTube? It's Fatrobzpizza again. It's been a while since we built a computer. And I know I built one for myself a while back and just really never put it into use. And I finally got the parts to make me a really good gaming computer. We're going to use a good processor, good graphics card, really good graphics card, and I'll be using that as my main gaming PC. So we're going to put it in this case. This is a DIY PC ARGB M1 BK, which is black, which is strange because I got a water cooler that's white, but I think we'll make it work. Anyway, this looks like this. Okay, I don't know if there's a lot of glare here. Anyway, inside the case, it already has 3 fans. Looks like intake. Anyway, no, they're all exhaust. This has got the glass on the side and the front. It's got a lot of ventilation. Let's see. And this is where we're going to install the liquid cooler up on the top, I believe. Yes. Back panel. It's got a fan plate. It's got the power supply is going to go in the basement, so that's good. Back is vented and pretty plain. The front is glass. And down here we have I can't see that. Anyway, down here we have the buttons. Power. It's either reset or it's going to control the RGB. We have a headphone or a combo jack, USB 3 and USB 2. Okay, anyway, that's going to be the case. It also, on the bottom, has a ventilation for the power supply. A nice big feet, that's good. Okay, now let's look at... Now, what parts are we going to use? That's a good question. First off, our power supply. And this is a Sama XP, and this is a 1000-watt power supply. It's the 80+ platinum. Anyway, this had good ratings, and we're going to try it and with the graphics card and the GPU or the CPU that I'm going to be using. We really need 1000 watts. Probably could have got away with an 850, but it's better to have a little bit extra so you're not pushing max. Okay. Next up, we have our motherboard. We went with the Asus Prime B650 Plus, and this is for Ryzen. Next up, we have the water cooler I was talking about, and this is the Lurker V360 all-in-one 360mm liquid CPU cooler. It is in white. It does have the ARGB. Let's see. Radiator fans. There's the pure copper bottom on the actual cooler that sits on the CPU. Anyway, but that, like I said, that's in white with a black case, so we'll just have to see. The motherboard is kind of black and white as well, so it'll look good. Okay. Okay, and now we have the AMD Ryzen 7, and this is the 7800x3d, and this is one of the best CPUs for gaming from AMD. It's an 8-core 16-thread, and I'm excited to use it. It's got the 3D V-Cache technology from AMD, and this is going to be good. All right. Next up we have our, let's see, our 2TB M.2 NVMe drive. It's made by Clev. It's KLEVV or Cleve, whatever. However you pronounce it. This is 2 terabytes with the 5200 megabits per second. So that's going to be a nice fast drive for our gaming. For the memory, we are going with the T-Force Delta DDR5. It does have ARGB on it, and I believe this is the black set. Nope, this is the white set. So we're going to have some black and white stuff going on in this build. It's 32 gigabytes. That's two 16 gigabyte sticks at 6000 megahertz, which means we're going to have to go into the BIOS and enable that higher speed for the memory. Okay, that's the memory. All right, and for the graphics card, this is the ASRock OC edition, Radeon RX 7900xtx, and that's got 24 gigabytes of graphics memory, so that is wonderful. Let's see, Radeon boost, ray tracing, anti-lag. This is a very good card. My son's been using it for a while and he really, really likes it. So I finally got me one, and this is going to make an excellent gaming rig. Okay, well, that's it for the parts. Unless I forgot something, we'll bring it up later, and we'll just get to building. All right. Hey guys, change of plans. That B650 was for a full-size ATX, not a micro. So we had to switch it up a little bit, and I do have an MSI Pro A620M-E, and this is an AM5 motherboard. It has the ARGB ready. It has the NVMe for SSD. It'll run up to the 9000 desktop ready, Lightning Gen 4 by MSI Pro Series. So this is what we're going to use for the motherboard, and everything else should still fit in it. We had this out of the box and looked, and that full-size ATX motherboard was just not going to fit in it. So anyway, that's what we're going to go with. So let's see here. We are going to remove the back panel just to get it out of the way. Oop. I got these in here pretty tight. There's the back panel, and we're going to put this over here in the case, keep it safe. I'm going to put these thumb screws back in here just so they don't get lost. Okay, and then that's what it looks like in the back, if you could see that. Okay. It's got an ARGB hub back here and all the cables that go to it. We are going to swap these fans around because I want not just everything being exhaust. I want air to come in, go around, and then back out again. So since we're using that liquid cooler, it's going to be exhaust as well, so it'll be plenty of exhaust. Okay. So we took the back off. Now this front is tempered glass. Let's see here. I think you lift from the top. Yeah, it pops up at the top, then lifts out. And we're going to put that out of the way as well. We don't want anything to get broken. Let's see. I should probably go ahead and swap these fans now before I start playing with everything else. Putting everything else back into it. So yeah, I think we'll do that. So we are going to the coarse thread screws. Okay, let's those screws out, and we're just going to flip them because I want those wires going through the same holes. There we go. Peel that off now while it's easy. Peel these other ones off later. Okay, I'm gonna hold them in place. Okay. Sounds like my screwdriver is about dead. I haven't even really used it. Could at least get these things started. That'll be helpful. Okay, so we got these fans swapped over to where they're going to be blowing in instead of out. All right, good to go on that. I only need to plug this screwdriver in, get some charge hitting it. There we go. Get that charging. Okay, that's wires we don't need yet. There's the front panel, which is tempered glass as well. Can we see everything on this? Okay. Anyway, down here in the basement is where the power supply is going to go. Let's see. Those like push through there. Move that out of the way there. Okay. So this here is ready for, we'll do the power supply and the motherboard, but we will do the motherboard after we get everything hooked up to it. That seems to be the best way to do it. So we're going to get the motherboard out, get it built, get the water cooler put on it, and then we'll mount everything in here. That should work perfectly. All right, that's the plan. Okay guys, we got the motherboard and we've got the cooler here, and I was going to go with a 240 cooler because I have one in black, but I thought 3 fans with the bigger radiator probably better for that 7800 paired with that 7900xtx, so just to make sure everything cools nice and well. Anyway, so we're going to have some black and white going on in this case. My memory is going to be ARGB, but they're white sticks, so it is what it is. It'll look good, it'll play good, and that's the main thing. Okay, so here is the motherboard, and there's the IO shield, SATA cable, which I don't think we're going to need because I'm not putting an extra SATA drive in here for storage or anything, because my NVMe is 2 terabytes and that should be plenty. All I'm going to be doing on this PC is gaming. Here's the, let's see, this looks like the screw for the NVMe, I believe. So I'm not sure what that thing is there. Anyway, we will put that to the side and take the motherboard out, and we're going to put that right on top of the box to build on. And as you can tell, there's already the 2032 battery. I did put that in there already. There's a cover on the PCIe slot, which we'll take off before we put our graphics card in there. And this is where the processor is going to go. It does have the 2 slots for the memory, which we're going to have 32 gigabytes, and that'll be plenty. It's like an 8-pin to power the board, or 24-pin over here for the main power. It's like we got CPU fan. Is that just one? Just one CPU, 2 CPU pins. Okay, so we got plenty of fans to plug in. Then there is USB 2, USB 3. Let's see, I believe it's not front pin. One of these, there it is, ARGB. That looks like a 4-pin though. Oh, there's another system fan there. That's good. Okay, and then audio. Anyway, we'll get this all hooked up. I'm kind of curious about the ARGB. Should be 3-pin. Huh. That is strange. So we'll figure that out. I might have to get a 4-pin to a 3-pin adapter. That's what it's looking like. There's the front panel. And there's some SATA ports here, which like I said, we're not going to use that because I won't need any extra storage on this, at least for now. So from here, we're going to install our, is that easier to see? Yeah, we're going to install our CPU in the memory. And this side is fixed, so we're going to go in kind of in an angle and snap it down. All right, so here is the memory. Okay. Like I said, those sticks are white. And wow, So I'm going to pop these sticks out. And memory, of course, is keyed. So this slot is not exactly in the middle. It's off to one side. So we guys got to see which side it's going to be. It looks like it's going to be like that. So the title is going to be facing out. So I'm going to put this down here first. Make sure it's down here in the slid right. Use our thumbs and make it click. There it goes. Both. I'm going to make sure that this clicks with the memory going in, not just with your thumbs. So I'm going to put this in here, that side first. Get it down like that. Use your thumbs. And it does take a little bit of pressure, so don't be afraid to push. Just make sure you don't make it fold over, because that'll ruin the board. All right, so we got the memory in. Let's go away. And we have our NVMe, and we're going with that Clev 2 terabyte, and that's going to go right here. And I guess that's what that must be, that extra piece that's in here with the screw. Yeah, is the actual standoff for it. And I think, let's be sure though, I think it's that upper one. Okay, so we're going to get this drive out, see how long it is. Okay. So it's going to go in an angle like that, and then go down. So it is going to be that far one. And then you remember NVMe always is keyed. There's a slot on the side that always goes faced on the downside. So on this one, we're going to screw this in on the uppermost one. Get that tight. I think. Oh, that's right. Okay, so that's tight. Not super tight, just good snug. Then we're going to take out that drive, put it in an angle. Then it's going to sit just like that. Sit down there, and then that little screw, there it is what is going to screw that in. And that is not a PH2, it's a PH1. Let me see if I have a PH1 handy. Because it won't fit on a regular, nope, okay. That ain't it. So we're gonna make the PH1, there we go, that'll fit. Put that there. I'm gonna screw this down, and this isn't gonna be very tight, it's just gonna be snug. There we go. That's nice, holding it nice and tight. And then in here is the heat shield that comes with it. And we're going to take off this 3M tape. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to place it on here nice and even where it looks good. And that just helps dissipate that heat off of there. All right, so we have our memory installed. We have our hard drive installed, our SSD. So we don't need that. Let's see, next up will be the processor, and this is the AMD Ryzen 7 7800x3d. It's exciting. I've never had this processor before. I've been wanting it for a long time, so having it now is pretty awesome. Okay, there it is in all its glory, and I think it comes with a cooler. Oh, nope, it does not. Okay, so that's just an empty box. We'll make it look nice. Okay, we don't need that. Okay, now to put in a processor, we're going to push down on this metal piece here, and that lifts up, and then that frees up the cover to the processor pins. And what we do here, it only goes in one way, and on this processor in this upper corner is a gold triangle, and you match that with the triangle that's on this board here. And you want to be very gentle. You don't want to bend any of the pins that's on the motherboard. Okay, and then I mean it's not moving around. You put that down like that, and then you snap this back down. And then this cover we want to save, because in case something happens, we got to send it back or have it repaired. We want to cover those pins. Okay. So far, so good. So now we've got our processor in, memory, storage. So we are ready. We are ready to get this cooler put together. So we're going to put that up there out of the way, and then open up this thing. And this is going to have some parts. This is the V360 cooler, and that just means it's 120 millimeter fans. So it's a pretty good size cooler. I'm going to take the fans out. Now, here's the parts that we'll need to hook it all up. And this here is the main part of the cooler. So we won't need this. Maybe those. Okay, let's get this box out of the way. All right, so here is the radiator and the part that mounts, the pump that mounts to the motherboard on top of the processor. And the way that case looked, I think it's going to have to go like this across and then reach down over here to get put on the processor like that. I think that's how we're going to do it. Let's get all this plastic off, but we're going to have to mount the fans. We're going to have to mount the fans on the bottom here. Okay, here's the power in the ARGB. And I wonder, this is going to mount like that and like this. That's what it looks like. Yes. So for now, we are going to put the fans, and the fans are going to be exhaust, which means it's going to blow through, which means we want it to draw. So we're going to have, and let's go that direction. Yes. We want the wires to all come out the bottom, because they're going to go, when it flips like this, it's going to go behind the motherboard. Okay. So there we go. We're going to have all these fans going down. This I could leave in. That's kind of far. Okay. Okay, so let's get this hardware out. And we're going to dump it all out for now. And we have got splitter cables. And this will have, what is, oh, this is the remote control for the ARGB. Okay. This we won't need because it's for Intel, so we won't need the Intel. It should be marked what we're going to need. So it looks like, okay, there's the AM5. That's Intel. Motherboard, some screws. And Intel. Don't need those. Okay, here's the screws that we're going to need to mount these fans. What these do is, let's see, these are going to mount through this fan into the radiator. Okay, we got all of them started. We got all the wires on the bottom. So it's time to go ahead and get these snug. Okay, those fans are tight and ready. We are going to have to get this motherboard set a little better. And that's what these here are. These mount to this cooler, and this cooler also has plastic over the copper. We want to make sure we take that off before we get it all the way mounted. We are going to mount it like this, so we're going to need these here. Let's see. Looks like they're gonna go in. And those little screws. We don't want to lose them. So I'm going to put this in like that. It's got a little cutout here. You want to put that on the little round hump that's in between the screw holes. Oh, that needs a PH1 as well. So there we go. Okay, got one on. I don't know if you could hear it or not, but Ninja's playing him behind me on the TV. He's doing a fundraiser for skin cancer, so if anybody wants to look his video up, you can donate to him. That would be awesome. He's trying to raise $250,000 for that fundraiser. I think he's going to be on all day. That might have been yesterday, though, that actually aired. Okay, we've got that put on. We got this motherboard here. We do these, let's see, these brackets that come with the motherboard. Sometimes we use them, sometimes we don't. And in this case, we are not going to use them because we need these screw holes. So we're going to just remove them, set them to the side. All right, set that to the side. Now what we're going to need is, oh, are you kidding me? My. We are going to need the stock ones. This is for the Intel ones. Okay, that was Intel. So we are going to put these, good thing we saved them, huh? Put these back on. These are the stock ones. Anyway, so when we mount these, the correct ones, it's going to have these little clips here that screw onto here and then hook on these down here. So we are going to have to mount these like we did that other one incorrectly. Ooh. Snug, snug. Next, put them there. There we go. I'm not going to tighten that all the way in yet. Okay, that's tight. Okay, nice and tight. What that does is, you see, it's going to go down like this, and these things here is what tightens them. So we'll get, and we're going to just okay, so that is the thermal paste. Okay, try this again. I'm going to hook one side, set it down, and hook this other side. Get a few twists in to hold it. Okay, finger tight, finger tight. Then we'll take the screwdriver and give it an extra couple of turns to make sure that it's tight and snug on top of that processor. Okay, that ain't going nowhere. All right, so far so good. Here's the power in the RGB, which is going to go out to the back. This is going to go like this and be at the top of the case. So this is ready to put into the case, and we will attach everything with the motherboard screws, which should be in the case, which we'll get that in just a moment. All right, so far so good. Hey everyone, it's Fatrobzpizza again, and we're back to finish out this gaming system. We're about ready to put the motherboard in, so I had to get this bag of goodies. It's got all the screws we're going to need to mount everything, motherboard, etc. This is the hub for the ARGB. We got front panel cables down below. So let's flip this over. There we are. We're going to just set this in here. And with that, just kind of hang out for a minute. Yeah. Before we install this, we need to install the heat shield. Anyway, and the way these things install, they're pretty much generic anymore. These 3 audio jacks always go to the bottom of the case, so we're just going to put that in there. We want to push in all 4 corners. Okay, that's not in the way. Can we see that in that side camera? We've got the HDMI port up here, which we're not going to use because we're going to have a graphics card. And then the other ports here. We've got the audio down below, some USB, Cat 5, and then we've got some USB 3s up there. All right. And that board. I'm going to go ahead and plug in this fan to this. Actually, I think I'm going to put the fan down here on this header, just so it's out of the way. And I can tuck that down. And then we'll put this other one that goes to RGB out the back. That way it'll be under the board and hopefully look good. Okay, so everything still looks good up in the front. I'm going to go ahead and get these screws out. Okay, and there's a speaker, but we're not going to need that. Okay, now the motherboard screws are a fine thread screw, and it looks like it's got like a washer built into the end of the screw. It's not that one. Okay, there's one. We'll pick one up for now. Anyway, it's a fine thread screw, and it's got the Phillips top, but it's got a little bit of a washer thing going on there. And I believe, yeah, I'm going to start this one over here just to make sure that the motherboard stays where it's supposed to. We're only going to not tighten it all the way there, so we can wiggle it around if we have to. Good. Now there should be 5 more. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're gonna get these in here, but not super tight. Now looking at this radiator is going to be right over where I plug in the motherboard, the fan, and the power. So I think I'm going to have to install the power supply before I install the power supply. I'm going to just kind of lay that in there. Is this thing? Well, let's try not to let that happen. It did. So the power supply is going to go in here. And that power is going to go up in this top slot. Okay. There's that power supply. This is fully modular, which means all the cables, you only hook up the ones that you absolutely want to or need. So that's good. All right. Fancy. Okay, there's the ports that the cables are all going to plug into. Now this again is that Sama XP 1000 watt power supply. And here's those cables. Power supply, power cord. Oh yeah, we don't want to lose that. Okay, we are going to need the 24 pin. Yes. We are going to need PCIe, at least one. I think it takes two. That graphics card. I don't know if we're going to need that or not. That's the 600 watt power supply cable. We have our CPU. Then we have our, in case we need them, which we probably won't. This is the Molex connectors. It's an older connector for some hard drives. Here is our SATA cable, and I don't think we're going to use SATA. We could always add it if we decide we're gonna. Let's see what else. We've got some more SATA, another CPU, which that only had an 8-pin, so we only need the one cable. And then here is another 8-pin. We may not need that one either, so I'm going to put that to the side. Anyway, the way this mounts, the fan is going to point down. And then here's the back of the case, and there's 1, 2, 3, 4 screw holes. Okay, 20 plus 4. Plugged in. CPU. That is plugged in. So PCIe, and that is down here. And the second one, because we will need two. We'll go right next to it. And then this extra power for that graphics card. I think this one uses it. I'm not sure. I could always unplug it if we don't need it. So better to have it. Okay, 12-volt power. There we go. Okay. Okay, we got all those plugged in. Now this is going to go back down with the fan facing down, like we said before. Okay. Now, to get this started, that would be the smartest way to do it. Okay, so far so good. Keep that radiator from flopping around too much. Okay. Okay, now here, can you see it? It's the fan header. And I am going to mount that out here at the top, and then the power for the motherboard, the 8-pin connector. We're going to push these together. Okay. Both of those are in. You pull that slack back out with both cables, and that'll help give me room for the radiator. And speaking of radiators, I have to route all this, I think, through that hole there. I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, so now the radiator is going to mount right up against there. And we're going to have to screw that in. So we have to remove this cover. And these will screw in with those coarse threaded screws as well. So we're going to I wonder if those are the right screws. Looks good. Looks good. And on the inside, those look good. Let's go ahead and get this power connected. That clips on the outside, so you're gonna have to kind of bend it around. Okay, we've got the processor, we've got the memory, we've got the drive, storage, we've got the water pump and cooler, we've got the fan blowing out. Make it look pretty. Now I think, peel this up, and we'll be ready for that graphics card. There we go. This is the ASRock Phantom Gaming Radeon RX 7900 XTX with 24 gigabytes of graphics memory. So this is going to mount over here, and I believe that it's these middle two. The middle two slots is what has to open. So these are breakaway slots. Move this up for now. Okay. Wiggle. Okay, two slots. Now we are going to take off the plastic. Okay. Should probably hook up the front panel while I'm here, since it looks to be kind of a pain. And for the front panel, we have power switch. We have HD audio. We have HD LED, and then the power LEDs. The reset switch is probably wired up to that switch up there, so we won't be using that. And this here is the USB 2 and USB 3. So I think, let's see, where? Okay, HD audio. this one. USB. USB 3. It's going to go right up next to it. And the front panel will go, I think we can go with that same one. Okay, we got front panel. We got all our cables run to the front. Which means we can lay this down and hook up our front panel. Hook up everything. We got 1, 2, 3 for PCIe. But yeah, as big as that graphics card is, we wouldn't be able to hook any of this stuff up if that was already in. So let's do that beforehand. The HD audio has one missing pin, the second one in from the top. We match that one up there. We're plugged in. Okay. And then that's the front panel. USB 2 is missing the bottom right one. I'm going to put that right there. Push it down, make sure it's snug. Now, front panel. We'll do that USB 3 last. So the power switch. Power switch is these top two on the right. And we have the power LEDs right next to them. Right. All right, we have our graphics card. What we want to do is put screws down in here to hold that graphics card in place. Okay, nice and tight. Okay, now we've got 3 cables. I'm going to put just to make this look better, I'm going to bundle these cables with a zip tie. Okay, nice and neat. Okay, now we're ready to do some cable management. Back here, I'll try to lean that where you can see it a little. Welcome back, YouTube. We left this when we were trying to get the wiring figured out. I did had to add a an RGB hub because there wasn't enough ports on this one that was included, so I just got everything plugged into that. I'm just going to stick that down here with the wires. I did use a 1 to 3 fan power splitter to hook up the fans to the power. We've got the cables run to the back. I did put a couple of zip ties just to get things out of the way, and we'll snip the excess here shortly. But see, I did have to add the IDE power cable to power this hub. I did not include one to this other one because I'm just going to use it as a hub. Okay, so we've got everything up front plugged in. That there, probably need to just make these wires look just a little nicer. So we're just going to go through here and carefully clip this excess from these zip ties. Okay, this one there, and there. Okay, it's not the prettiest thing in the world, but I believe that will work. But before we close it all up, I do want to make sure it works. So we are going to get everything hooked up to it and fire this baby up. So let's see, I am gonna end up needing, see, some kind of bracket. This has already got a little sag going here. So what? I guess I can do that. For now, I'm going to use this. That'll work for now. All right, temporary. That'll keep that from sagging. And we need to hook up. Can you see that okay? Not really. Okay, we are going to hook up. Let's see, this power all the way in. Those are HDMI for our graphics. That's in. We have got, there we go, my USBs for my keyboard and mouse. There we go. Those are plugged in. I am not going to hook up my network cable yet because I don't want to try to auto install 11. Right now, I'm going to install Windows 10 and then we'll upgrade it. Okay, and you can see everything okay. All right. So let's see if this thing will turn the power supply on, and then well, there it goes. I guess it took it a minute to read everything. I still don't have lights going to my fans. Why do I not have lights going to my fans? Should have top and rear. Maybe. Maybe this hub needs to be powered as well. Oh, there it goes. Got all my lights working. Can you see it on the cameras? There we go. All the inside lights. I got my rear, all 3 on the top, 2 in the back. Of course, my GPU and my memory already has it going. And then we have the pump. We've got plenty of lights in here. We got air coming in here in the front and then blowing out the top and the back. So that that should be plenty of ventilation. And it's got vents all over the place. It even has a RGB panel across the front of that, so that's going to look good. And then let's see this. We hooked the reset switch up to here, so this thing here, instead of a reset, should change the colors of RGB, and it is kind of like that. What do you think? Just cycling through all the colors kind of matches the graphics card, and I think in the software we can get that where it'll sync up with everything else. But right now it's looking pretty good, wouldn't you say? Okay, so what we need to do, I don't know if it'll let me in here. I was going to show you that you have to change a setting. No, it won't. Turn that off for a second. Ooh, the peel. That looks even better in there. Guess I need to peel the front and side too when I get ready to install it. I'm just not going to worry about that right now. Okay, so what we want to do is get into the BIOS so we can change the memory and enable the AMD Expo to get that overclocking, to get that, I think, 6000 instead of the 4800 it normally comes with. So we'll turn this back on, turn the power supply on, can quit forgetting that. We'll turn that on, and then we'll hit our delete button since this is an MSI motherboard. Yeah, I like that color scheme, floating through all the colors. Once I get it on the desk and start gaming with it, I might want to change it a little bit instead of that flashing different colors, but we'll see. Let's see. Waiting for the BIOS to come up. Anyway, we're hitting that delete button for this MSI motherboard. Now I was trying to hook up the ARGB on the motherboard itself, because when I was looking on Google, it said this motherboard had it. And then when I get it here and get it all hooked up, it does not have it. So that's why we got the hub in the back. And I added that second one. They're both powered, so that's why we got lights everywhere. Why are we? There we are. Okay. Well, how am I going to show you that? Okay, try to move this camera. To point at the screen. Sideways. Anyway, this is the BIOS for MSI. You can see it up here in that small screen. We're in settings, and I changed the profile to Expo 1, which is the 6000 megahertz. You can see here. Can you see there? My finger's in the way. There we go. It says CPU speed 4.2 gigahertz, DDR speed 6000 megahertz. Let's see, if you look over on this end of the screen, it does say that this is the Pro A620M-E from MSI. It is an AMD Ryzen 7 7800x3d, which is an 8-core processor. Memory size, we got 32 gigabytes of RAM in there, running at the 6000 speed. So, well, anyway, everything looks like it should. So I think we're ready to install Windows. Lots of airflow in here. That's good. We'll keep this 7900xtx with the 24 gigabytes. That's a very nice gaming graphics card. I'm sure the 50 series, 5080, 5090 probably gives it a run for its money, but I'm gonna stick with this for as long as I can. Still waiting for it to come up. I want to install that Windows. And you can see we got black screen right now. So we just got to wait for it to go through everything and decide to come back up again. At least that's the plan. That is the plan. Oh, it just flashed. So there we go. There's an MSI splash. So the next screen should flip over to the install Windows, and we won't sit through that whole thing because if you've ever installed Windows before, you know it takes forever. Then it updates. Well, I guess it doesn't really update until I plug the network cable in. But anyway, we'll install the Windows 10, get it where it needs to be running. Then I'll hook up there it is. Okay, so now we've got the screen for the Windows install. But anyway, once we get it up and going, I'm going to hook up the network cable to it, and then we'll allow it to do updates, because I do also want to update to the latest drivers for our graphics card as well, for sure. Okay, so we're going to install Windows. Now setup is starting. Sorry the screen is crooked, but okay. Right now I'm going to say I don't have a product key because I don't have access to it at this moment, but I will be installing it. You just cut and paste it into the settings, so you can look that up online. Accept the terms, of course, otherwise they won't let you use it. We're going to install fresh Windows on, well, there's the main drive. That's a 2 GB Clev NVMe M.2, so we're going to use that whole disk because we don't need to partition anything. As large as that is, it'll hold the operating system, the games, any saved files. I don't plan on streaming from this computer. It's going to be just for gaming. So I'm going to hook it into my streaming computer, where I could record and stream from there and just use this thing for gaming only. For people who like to stream and game on one computer, AMD can do it, but the higher end NVIDIA cards are probably better for that. Not quite for gaming, but for the multitasking, it seems to just have a little edge over the AMD, at least for now. So AMD makes it just a little better. But as far as the gaming, AMD it's the thing. Okay, it is installing Windows. So for now, I will say adios, and we'll pick this up after the install is completed. And then I'll show you some settings, if I can. I might have to hook up a different camera. Show you some settings, install the games, Fortnite, of course, probably some Call of Duty, some Blizzard, World of Warcraft probably go up in there. Maybe it's Destiny. We'll see. Definitely going to get Steam on here, but that takes a bit, and we will get that going in a bit. So, be excellent. Hey, what's up, YouTube? I got everything put together. I got Windows installed and all the games installed. As you can see by the picture, I'm trying to sync the colors to everything, and then it's good to go. So this is another build that's in the bag. I downloaded the Radeon drivers for the graphics card. I've updated Windows. The only thing I have to do is upgrade it to Windows 11, which I'll be doing this evening. And got all the RGB working. Just got to get them synced. So this build is a success. This one is not for sale. I do still have several computers for sale that I built previously. I'll try to link them below in the description. They're also on my Facebook Marketplace for local. No shipping at this time, and I still don't have a place to sell them yet local. Hopefully someone will decide they want to carry some computers, and I'll be supplying them maybe. Okay, anyway, thanks for watching, and be excellent.